Good Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations Daily News. And it's good to be back. We were gone for a few days because of a snafu on Instagram, but we are back, and we're glad that you all could be with us on this first hump day of September. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Wednesday. We have a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with actress Rae Dawn Chong discussing her career and her new movie, We Are Gathered Here Today. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. In national news, Uvalde students go back to school for first time since attack. On a morning that many Uvalde families had dreaded, a new school year began in a small South Texas town with big hugs on sidewalks, patrol cars parked at every corner, and mothers wiping away tears while pulling away from the curb in the dropout line. Outside Uvalde Elementary, teachers in matching turquoise shirts, emblazoned with "Together We Rise" and "Together We Are Better," gently led students through a newly installed 8-foot fence and past a state trooper standing outside the front entrance. "Good morning, sunshine," greeted one teacher. "You ready to have a good school year?" Robb Elementary, where the attack unfolded on May 24th, is permanently closed and will eventually be demolished. A large memorial of stuffed animals, victims' photographs, and crosses remain outside the scene of one of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history. Outside the other schools in Uvalde, which are only a short drive away, some added safety measures that the district rushed to implement after the attack were incomplete. Security cameras are still in the works. New metal fencing surrounds some campuses, partially enclosing others, and isn't up at all at Flores Elementary, where many Robb students are enrolled this year. The attack lasted more than 70 minutes before police finally confronted the gunman and killed him. The delay infuriated parents and led to a damning report by state lawmakers. Now more police are on patrol, but distrust is rampant. Uvalde is off to a late start for school. Classes resumed weeks ago in many parts of Texas, where other districts encouraged students and teachers Tuesday to show support by wearing Uvalde's maroon colors. "We are all standing with you," First Lady Jill Biden tweeted. Uvalde pushed back the first day of school after a summer of heartache, anger, and revelations that nearly 400 officers who rushed to the scene waited so long to go inside the classrooms. Steve McCraw, the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety, called the response an abject failure, and the district fired school police chief Pete Arredondo last month. In more national news, Juul have paid nearly $440 million to settle state's teen vaping scandal. Electronic cigarette maker Juul Labs has agreed to pay nearly $440 million to settle a 2-year investigation by 33 states into the marketing of its high-nicotine vaping products, which have long been blamed for sparking a national surge in teen vaping. Kentucky Attorney General William Tong announced the deal Tuesday on behalf of the states plus Puerto Rico, which joined together in 2020 to probe Juul's early promotions and claims about the benefits of its technology as a smoking alternative. The settlement, which includes numerous restrictions on how Juul can market its products, resolves one of the biggest legal threats facing the beleaguered company, which still faces 9 separate lawsuits from other states. Additionally, Juul faces hundreds of personal lawsuits brought on behalf of teenagers and others who say they became addicted to the company's vaping products. In more national news, students returned to campus amid water crisis in Jackson. While its water crisis continued, students in Mississippi's capital were able to return to class for the first time in a week Tuesday, with assurances that the toilets and sinks in their buildings would finally work. Jackson remained under a boil water advisory, but the drop in water pressure that had brought the system to near collapse appears to be resolved, said officials. Sherwin Johnson, a spokesperson for Jackson Public Schools, confirmed in a statement to the Associated Press on Tuesday that schools had reopened after a drop in water pressure forced a move to virtual instruction. In a statement posted to Twitter on Monday, the school district said it had checked water pressure at each school and found that nearly all are suitable for students and staff to return. Air conditioning systems at several schools depend on the water system to run effectively. The district said it anticipated delays in cooling buildings as temperatures reached the mid-80s on Tuesday. In more national news, Memphis police ID body of abducted jogger Eliza Fletcher. Police in Tennessee said Tuesday they had found the body of a Memphis woman abducted during a pre-dawn run, confirming fears that Eliza Fletcher was killed after she was forced into an SUV on last Friday morning. The news followed an exhaustive search through the long weekend with dogs, ATVs, and a helicopter in a case that has drawn national media attention and is already becoming a source of partisan controversy over criminal sentencing and parole. And finally, in business news, stocks drift lower, extending losses into fourth straight week. Stocks closed lower on Wall Street Tuesday, extending the market's losses into a holiday-shortened week. The S&P 500 fell 0.4% after bouncing between a gain of 0.5% and a loss of 1%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.6% and the Nasdaq lost 0.7%. The major indexes are coming off their third losing week in a row, part of a late summer slump that erased much of the benchmark S&P's 500 gains from July and early August. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Wednesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Ready for your Wednesday wake-up call? What is meant for you is for you. There is nothing anyone other than yourself can do to keep you from it. So what are you waiting for? Claim your inheritance and choose today to walk in your gifts. Have an amazing Wednesday. Actress Rae Dawn Chong is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight right here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Actress Rae Dawn Chong joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her extraordinary career and her new movie, We Are Gathered Here Today. Here's a bit of our conversation. What has this experience been like for you to do what you love as an actor, but also to share that with all of us?
Well, I just want you to know that I have very few skills, and one of the skills I do have is communication. So it has been an honor, an absolute honor. And I feel like one of the luckiest people, and I think that I was blessed at birth.
And I think, too, anyone who looks at your body of work, though, will say, I mean, it's so diverse in the roles you've been able to play. Is that part of what keeps it exciting for you?
Well, you know, I didn't really have much choice in that because of being, I am a literal embodiment of diversity. I'm a mixed race person who came up during the time in the 70s when that wasn't even a thing. And then I just have had longevity. So, you know, it was the hand that I was dealt. And sometimes I have failed, like swung and a miss, and then sometimes I have succeeded. So it's been a mixture of, well, the main thing I can say is it's never been boring.
Yeah, what a great thing. Well, I think people would definitely agree. As I mentioned, the new film is one that is so timely, Ms. Chung. It's one that, again, a lot of people can relate to. We are gathered here today. I'm curious, and when I was prepping for this segment, I had a chance to watch the film, thanks to our friends at October Coast. What is it that drew you to this project?
I'm going to be honest about it. It turns out a very, very good friend of mine. And I was one of the last people put into the, and then I've known Danny Houston for decades. And then it was an opportunity to be reorganized with, I think, Margaret Avery. And then, of course, Ari Nicole Parker, I had never worked with, but I've always admired her beauty. And so it was just one of those things where I couldn't say no.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversation Daily News. We'll be back to you guys on tomorrow's more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your entertainment spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today, and let's go make it a great one.